Guess I'm online soon. Am I on? Are people still there? Or are just people left? Ah. God, I just wanna scream right now. Well, I don't know who's on. For whoever is on my YouTube stream right now, I think I might need to stop streaming. I can't use my mobile data because I don't have much left from the last time. I might need to buy my own internet if I want to make this stream work, because right now I'm connected to my landlord's internet and it's not very good. So if I want to get full unlimited internet on my mobile, that's gonna cost me a fortune. So I guess I can use the money from my Pinterest to pay the internet. I think it will be well enough. It's like 55 euros if I want to have that unlimited data via my mobile, or buy presumably my own internet, which costs a lot in Sweden. Fucking Sweden, great. Sending data. Oh my god, I'm online, but I can't see it in the freaking chat. What the hell is wrong with things? Nothing wants to work. I just saw your comment, Reza. Okay, I'm just gonna stick to YouTube. Patreon for $30. Georgia, if you do this, you're gonna be my very first experiment while I'm actually learning, teaching online students. I've never done this before. So I don't want to do something that might not work for you. If you think we can work together, I can do my best. But I am kind of terrified of that. When I made that tier on Patreon, I was a bit like, what if I fail? What am I gonna do? Oh my god, am I gonna do good enough? I hope so. But I mean, right now I'm on my mobile. I know that I have 20% more data on it. I'm gonna check and see how much it costs, because apparently my mobile is doing great. I have like almost 3k kilobytes per second via my mobile. It's way better than my actual internet. So if that's the case, I'm just gonna go unlimited. I don't know, I'm gonna check and see how much it costs, and then I'm just gonna post on Patreon if people wants to do it. Yeah, I mean, the way I want to do with that tier, and maybe you can help me improve it. I'm actually thinking of using WhatsApp for that as well, because it's easier to contact me on WhatsApp than via Discord or whatever. It's like, hey, are you online? Can you help me with this? And you send it via WhatsApp. Because I'm usually mostly at home working like a lunatic anyways. So I can always go online on Discord, share screens, and you can actually send me photos of what you're working on. Like, if you like, take really good samples photos of your work, and then I can take a look and then help. Yeah, Reza, I did a tier where you can pay like $30 and I can coach online. I've never done this before. So it's gonna be an experiment, whoever is gonna do it. I'm also gonna see how the hell I'm gonna do it with... Because I'm gonna be traveling to Romania for 13 days. So I'm like, maybe WhatsApp would be a good idea. Because I'm gonna have my tablet with me and then I can work on my tablet. What if I can actually teleport myself to them and then work with them? That would be great. Whatever. Okay, let's show you guys a little bit. Georgia, I really hope that that little paper with a little egg was good enough. Hopefully. Now you can actually see a little bit of the white. So you saw how I did it. I just went on top of it, grayed it out, and then added that stroke in there. That's the thing with this grayscale paper. You know, before you actually go crazy with the Patreon, Georgia, you can send me that drawing you're working on. Let me take a look and see if I can actually help. That's one reason I also wrote to email me so you can ask questions before you submit to that, because $40 per month is quite a lot of money for some people. I mean, for me, $40 is a lot. So I just want to make sure that we can work together. So before you do that, just email me. Let's share contacts and then see if it actually worked. You can be my my experiment rat or mouse. Well, I think I should be fair, because I might not be able to really give the best I think I can do. So I don't want you to pay and then you're like, wow, this cunt has no idea how to do this shit. So sorry for my language. I'm very bad at it sometimes. Okay, I don't know how much data I'm gonna have on my mobile, so I'm just gonna show you guys how I like rendering with charcoal a little bit. So I was showing my students this. Even when I use... I'm your lab mouse. Sorry. I like rats, actually. I think rats are super intelligent. I know, that's one reason I really wanted to do this stream with working in charcoal, but my internet doesn't fucking work. So I'm just gonna show you guys something. What can I draw? Something simple. Is there anything simple I can draw? Okay, so this is the beauty about sharpening your charcoal like this. Look at that. So I do it like this, then I tap it, then I go again. The thing with charcoal, it takes time. You can be quite rough, but if you want to go for the academic drawing, this is how pretty much you kind of need to do it. So you're always very gentle. And I actually use my hands a lot when I work with charcoal. You don't need to use your hands. You can use toilet paper, for example. I actually used a lot of toilet paper in my work as well. So then you go like tap, 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 tap. And you see it kind of becomes a bit more soft. I usually try not to always do this. I always tap. And I never clean up my finger afterwards. It depends. You don't need to wash it, but you can wipe it on your clothes. That works. I remember one side of my shirt at that point was just full black because I kept cleaning up my hand on it. Yeah. This is something someone noticed. If you look at my drawings, on my charcoal drawings, I always have kind of one direction when I work. I have a good friend, he's a lefty. All the time when I was showing him how to sharpen, I was like, goddamn lefties, I have to like adapt to your weird way of working, because he was doing in this direction because he's a lefty, but I'm a right person. I'm right. Anyway, let's get into politics. No, so I'm doing it in this direction. I think the hardest part with charcoal is working with the middle tones. I think that's the hardest one. When you work with dark tones, it's way easier because it's darker and just fills in the paper. Oh, really? Are you, what school in Brazil are you at? I'm very curious. I love sharpening the charcoal like this. So this is how it actually looks like. I sharpen it to this. When this video presumably will be uploaded, because we had a little bit of a cut in the middle of it. Somewhere anyways. You can check the uploaded video to see how I kind of sharpen it. Presumably your teachers does it that way. Okay, let's draw an egg. Egg! Do I have an egg in real life? Let's do it. Do I have... Let's take an egg. Egg! 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 I'm gonna put it somewhere so I can see more values and hopefully I can render an egg for you guys. Misha, no, I'm not gonna give you food. You already ate. Fuck off. There you go. We have an egg. So I'm gonna put it somewhere. Okay, do you guys see this? This little color over here. If you guys don't know about bounce light, this is very important to know when you draw your casts, because casts are very bright and they get a lot of bounce light. So you can actually see this in portraits as well. I've noticed that there's a lot of people that kind of misses that one out. Either they overdo it or they don't have it. You can choose. Sometimes you don't see this when you squint, but now when I squint at it, and I have to show you guys what I mean by squinting, you can actually see that value. That's cool. I didn't know about that school. I solved your majority of your problems. Yay! That's good. Yeah, middle values. I think working in middle values, again, I think that's the hardest. Let me put the egg somewhere. Can I hold it so you guys can see? Egg. My god, it would be so hilarious if it falls down. Ah. Let's do it! Drawing an egg. I'm gonna see... should I just look at it in the screen? No, I'm gonna do it from life. So, in general, you just do a sketch. I'm not gonna do a perfect proportion egg as I'm seeing it. I might even draw my fingers. Wait, maybe I should draw it here so it will be closer to you guys. God, this is actually a bit funny. So I have an egg. Can I put more interesting light on it? Yeah. Poor little chicken egg. Never got to be a chicken. It's gonna be a good omelet. So it's kind of nice because we have like a darker tone value, we have the white, we have also the whitest white here, that little stroke. So you see, I do smudge sometimes, because right now it's just a matter of doing the drawing. It's so much easier to explain while you're actually working, because you can forget some stuff. Ah, I can't get rid of that. That's a shadow. Here, it's from the charcoal. Okay, I need to move it more this way. Wow, this is so tricky, drawing an egg. There you go. And then, so I'm not going dark yet, and I won't be able to check the chat, just so you guys know. I need to focus on not dropping the egg, because I have a very bad floor, and it will go in between the cracks and then it's gonna smell bad. For example, in this case, I can actually smudge it. And now, this is gonna be funny, but I'm just gonna draw my fingers as well. So right now I'm squinting. So what I'm trying to see is the shadow shapes. So it's basically what you're seeing here. So if you're squinting, this bright little tone here is gonna drop down, and I still haven't showed you guys what squinting is. So right now I'm just gonna be bold and just fill in this value. And then stomp it, because I want to have more of a flatter tone. And sometimes charcoal, this is the beauty about it, it feels like you're painting. So it's really nice. So right now I'm pretty much drawing what I'm seeing by squinting. Should I show you guys what squinting is before I continue, so you guys won't be like, what the hell is she talking about? So I'm drawing my fingers from how I'm seeing it. I'm not drawing it how you guys are seeing it on the screen, just so you guys know. Let's see what you... Okay, someone wants to see what squinting is. Okay, be warned, you asked. Hi. Okay. Let's see how we can do this. You guys can see my face? Okay. So it's basically when you're like gently closing your eyes a little bit. And you're not like closing them, but you're like seeing in between. So when you do that, all of the details are just being wiped away. So you're mainly seeing dark and light, like values. You're just seeing the general tones of what you're looking at. So it's a way of simplifying. Like for example, I have the camera and then I have the light behind it. Doing this, I don't see details as much as if I actually look at it with open eyes. I just see it quite dark and diffused, and then I have the light in the back, and what's in the foreground is pretty flat and dark. That's the thing. And you also guys, you saw that I closed my eye. The thing is that one reason I closed this one is that this is the healthy eye. And somehow, I'm not sure how to explain to you guys how you find out which is your healthy eye. I learned this from my teacher Hans Schamai from the Swedish Academy. It's about, so imagine you're having a Illuminati sign like this, and I'm looking at my apple right now. So basically this is what I'm seeing when I look at it. And I'm looking with both of my eyes at it. So do this, find a point on the wall and try to see it in the middle of this shape you're having. And while you're looking at it, close your left eye, and if you still see it, that is your main eye. Okay? So you're looking at it, closing your left eye, then open up your eyes and close your right eye. And then you'll be like, oh, I actually don't see the image anymore. Have you guys tried it? It's very genius, because if you look at painters like John Singer Sargent, this is one reason he was very brilliant. It's because he was working with shadows and lights. Nowadays, we're so bombarded with photographs that us artists, we're becoming like obsessed over super realism, like really drawing everything you see. But the thing is that that's not what we're seeing, and we're seeing this in HDR 4K screens as well. When I go to the shops and I see those screens, those saturated colors and the sharpness, it freaks me out, because that's not how I see. We think that, oh, that's the only way of actually seeing. No, it's very different. That's one reason my teacher Hans was so obsessed, and he keeps reminding me, don't forget to draw from life. because he knows I'm a photo user, because I can't really afford to like, hey, you're pretty, I can pay you 300 euros to pose for me, you want to do that? I can't really afford that. That's one reason I use myself a lot as a model, but I take photos of myself. So squinting sounds a little bit weird, but it's the best way to simplify values, to not see details and just see, God, I'm repeating myself, but this is what I usually do so people can click it. Shadows and lights. Look at John Singer Sargent and you'll understand what I mean. If you look at the way he paints the eyes, this part here, he tends sometimes to blend it with the skin. If you look at people that works from photos, they tend to paint everything they see because they're looking at a photo. I sometimes squint on my own photos. It actually works. Let's say that you're working from a photo. If you squint, you can actually see a little bit of simplification, but it's kind of hard because there's no light bouncing back at you. It's just a flat form. Because without light, we won't be able to have color. We won't be able to see anything. Okay, I hope this was fun, and I hope I made a bit of sense to what I'm trying to talk about. And I kind of got a little bit red in my cheeks. Okay, let's continue. Let's draw the egg. So right now I am squinting. Oh wait, there's my egg. So I am squinting at this egg, and for example, in between my fingers here, I just see a little bit of light coming through this shape. I mean, it's very little, it's very dim, and I can also see the shadow shape from this here, that little shadow, that little bright shape over there. I can actually see the cast, the bounce light on the egg, and if I do this, you see when I go in here with my fingers, my hand is bouncing more light on the bottom of the egg. It's really cool. Once you kind of figure all this out, it becomes really fun. Because that's the thing, the difference between drawing and painting from live versus photos. It's more fun because you're interacting with your subject. When you're drawing from a picture, it's just a captured moment in time that you're not really interacting with. So I really, you know, Georgia, draw an egg. Really draw an egg. That's the first homework I'm giving you as your online teacher. Yeah, let's continue. Was I working with this or with this? Yeah. So I'm just, you guys will see very different in the screen. I'm seeing it very different when I'm looking at it. So let's see how good I'm gonna do this. So right now I'm working with basically, god damn it. Basically I'm working with this stone over here. So I'm not working yet with my darkest dark. I'm working with my middle tone and let's say this three values. This, and this, and the white. The white of the paper, the tone. And this one I will put it a little bit later on when I actually figured out the drawing a little bit. This is actually getting me really tired and excited at the same time. Oh, models are very expensive. I mean, when I was having live models, I paid per hour, what was it, $13, $14 or more. It's worth it though. That's one reason it's good to have friends. I'm sure if Raiza was here, she would have just posed for me. We promised to ourselves if we win the lottery, we're gonna buy each other a ticket so we can actually see each other. I think I told her that if I ever win the lottery, I'm gonna buy her a ticket so she can come to Sweden. Yup. I kind of changed my fingers right now. Oh well, let's just work with it. So the thing is that if you look at the video that Richard Schmidt did, Captain's Portrait, he said, don't draw what you think it is, draw what you see that it is. So I know that there's a bunch of fingers in here, but I'm just using abstraction, which is the shadow shapes that my eyes are seeing, and just going with it. Like for example, this is one abstract shape, this is another abstract shape, this is another abstract shape. And because I'm seeing it this way, I can go like, how thick is this form in relationship to this one, in relationship to this one, and in relationship to this one? Well, this is obviously shorter than this one, and this to here are quite equal between each other in relationship to how I see it in real life. So this is something that you learned a lot at this academic schools. You're learning a lot about proportions and abstraction, and everything is abstract. And I remember watching a video of Marko Đurđević actually talking about this. The closer you get to a painting, the more abstract it becomes. Okay, so I'm gonna darken the background. I can be way cleaner than this, but right now I really don't have time. And be bold. This is the fun part about drawing from life. You're the only one who's gonna see it. The end result is what you saw. You will not have that picture anymore because it's not there. And that's what I like about drawing from life. Because when you have a photo, you're always comparing your interpretation of what you saw in that photo to the photo. It's always there to taunt you. And that's when you kind of, how do you say it in English? It's kind of hard to, sorry, it's hard to work and talk. Because when I work from photos, I look at the photo, and the best example is the one with the birds. You know, Raiza, you asked me like, when are you gonna finish that one? I can't look at it. I cannot look at it. I have the photos. I just want to paint from life. Right now, just drawing this egg makes me just want to draw from life. Because it does hinder your growth, I think. I might be wrong, but that's how I feel. So right now I'm starting to go a bit darker, and I'm squinting right now. So it's gonna be a lot of choices that I'll need to make this work. You guys are also seeing it a bit skewed, just so you guys know. So I'm doing it more in the fashion academic way, but if this was my drawing, I would just be bold and just start going darker in some areas. Like right now, I'm actually just doing it. I'm like, okay, I need to go darker, so I'm just gonna go darker. I'm squinting now. I'm trying to see the difference between the finger value and the value of the egg. So I'm squinting again. So I'm just doing line after line after line. And now, stomp, 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 stomp. Softening. Stomp, 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 stomp. And then I will come again. So I'm just getting that nice little soft value around my subject. Gonna go darker, gonna squint, and at this point I'm starting to kind of find my darkest darks. So at this point I actually do need my whitest white, which is here. There you go. So I'm just gonna smoosh it down there. So, but now the difference between the paper value and the white is too high, so I need to I have to clean up my finger on my clothes. With a chalk you can actually do this, or you can take a stomp. The tricky part with chalk, when you use a spray on it, some spray takes away the vibrancy of your chalk. The brand I use is something called Becker's, which you can only find if you live in Scandinavia. So I'm sorry that I'm not being helpful with that. I hope you can find something that works. So you see, you have all of these little lumps in here, and that's one reason it's good to really sharpen your chalk, so it will go in all of those creases. I'm squinting right now. I can see that I can spread the light even more. So when it comes to values, it's all about building them up gently and comparing them with each other. And sure, I might go back to it. So right now I can see I want to get this nice grading from my darkest dark towards my whitest white. So this is a bit tricky, because in school you're not allowed to mix the chalk with the charcoal. You can do that in an expressive way if you want to, but as a test you're not allowed to do it. You need to just see it as values and nothing expressive yet. I actually do it. I actually mix charcoal and chalk. Ugh, such a rebel. So I'm just... Sometimes you have to take away, and I told students, well, right now, if you want to make that softness, you might need to sacrifice what you're having and redo it to build up the values. Some students didn't want to do it because, you know, you kind of get attached to what you're working on. I might need to take away the chalk. I don't know. Let's see. Who thought that drawing an egg can be this difficult? But so satisfying to just do and learn. Yeah, at this stage, when I'm squinting, I think I can sacrifice a little bit of the chalk. Let's stomp that chalk well in there. There you go. Now let's make this I need a mold stick right now. I'm just drawing something a little bit small. There you go. So I made a contour and I'm just gonna darken the background. It's so easy to brighten up the background. You just look at that. Isn't it fun? It's like you're painting. I remember talking. Oh, okay, it didn't break. Whew, whew. Don't drop your charcoal. Don't drop your charcoal. That's when it breaks. Where was I? Yeah, I was talking to Sanna Tomak from the Swedish Academy of Real Start, and I was asking her, like, I'm not sure how to work with charcoal. It feels so hard, and blah, blah, blah. And then she asked, and I think she said something like, for me, charcoal is like painting. And that's when it clicked. Because I like painting, and I think I'm more of a painter than a graphical artist. But when I work with charcoal, I think about it as painting rather than graphical. Oh my god, this is so much fun. Thank god I didn't do those lines. This is way more fun. I mean, lions are fun. I would like to draw one from life one day. But I think he will eat me before I even manage to draw his face. For example, you can see, like, I have this tone here. Now it's just go in, gently tap it. You can take like paper as well, gently tap it as well. And you can make decisions if you're working from life. My decision was to go a bit darker with the background. I can take it away and just go very bright here. We can test that and see how it looks like. So at this stage, I feel very confident. I feel like I can go darker. So I'm gonna start pushing. So this is my finger that's holding the egg. Oh, I moved a little bit, so I was holding it more like this, but let's draw it like this because I kind of like the way the light falls onto my finger. and how the finger kind of goes on top of the egg. So I'm squinting, trying to see shapes, trying to see abstraction. Just being bold. Very easy to brighten things up. Very easy to fix things once you kind of get an idea of how charcoal works. I'm squinting. Right now this is very sharp, this line I'm drawing here. I will soften that because I need to go darker within this shape here. There you go. So now I'm just gonna be bold. Yeah, that's pretty much the dark I want. And again, if this... Sana, I am pretty good. I'm a little bit busy. Is it okay if I call you in like 1 hour? Thank you. Bye. Talking about my teacher, former teacher Sana, she just called me. Sorry. Let's continue. So I'm squinting. Squinting. I keep on squinting. Keep on seeing shapes. Keep on seeing abstraction. Stomping. Maybe I will actually go for the background. You see how easy it is to brighten it? I'm just going on top with my fingers. And again, you just need to be careful not to... if this was white paper, it would have been... Is my internet falling? Am I still on? Can someone write something if I'm lost again in the abyss of the internet? I'm gonna look into a good internet. Stomping it. So right now I'm not pushing with the charcoal, I'm actually just gently going on the surface of the paper. Thank you, Riza. And just mushing in the charcoal in there. And then we can also talk about accents. Right now my finger is forming an accent in here that kind of makes the egg pop a little bit. It has like a bounce light here. I need to go even darker. It's like I'm painting with my fingers right now. Yeah, I know, I can't do much about it. It's my internet. I'm actually gonna look into getting my own internet. We'll see how that's gonna be. Maybe it's better. You guys will pay for it via Patreon. That's completely fine. I want to make my own, my main income coming out from these posters and freelance. Patreon will be just something that people helps me keep the streams alive. And you see, it's just drawing like, okay, the internet is better now. Just drawing a bloody egg is so complicated because there's these small little values and drawing issues that you're making by, for example, I need to make a choice here. Either I make the egg longer or I just fix, you see, it's like you have this point here in relationship to this, it's not gonna attach to the egg. So let's see, I think I'm just gonna make the egg a bit smaller. There we go. I kind of like the way the light protrudes in here and the sharpness of the egg underneath. There you go. Then I have this light on my finger. My finger can almost blend in with the background. You can't hear anything. Oh my god! Kill me! I'm just gonna switch off the music. Bonk. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me now? Is it any good? Or should I just go crazy with this? I think whatever works for you. I used to not like charcoal at all. I actually had a very bad relationship with charcoal until I just kept on doing it. I had good teachers that pushed me with it. So I hope so. I just switched off the music. Right now I'm using the other sharper charcoal. So now I'm just... You need to also select your charcoal. You need to know what your charcoal does in certain situations. So in this situation, I know that I can get more gentle values going upwards. So I'm gently building them up. I don't want to go over my chalk. Need to be careful with that. I will need to soften these values here. And the thing is that the charcoal sometimes does that for you. It just softens a certain sharper edge because it's a very soft material and it kind of does that. My fingers are quite dark. They're much darker in value than the egg. So I'm just gonna gently darken my hand. Oh, it was something like... Sorry, the egg keeps coming towards me. And then I have another finger here. Sorry if I'm a bit quiet. So I can see that right now I have this darker value, and when I squint down, the difference between this value and this value, it's a little bit overdone. You also need to be careful with the squinting. You don't need to overdo it. You kind of need to analyze and see what will go well for your drawing. And that's when, you know, your skills will grow and your drawings will become more sensitive to the values, and you will also build up your own style of working with the subject you're seeing. So there's always ways of doing it. I kind of, for example, my choice was to soften this edge a little bit. Right now I need to clean up this edge. You see this little detail here? It's kind of protruding into the egg, which kind of disturbs the edge that I actually want. There's a specific thing that I want to get in here. So, and I also don't have my malt stick, and I'm also holding an egg. Soft erasers, they're the best. So you just hold them, you make a pointy little thing, and you're pretty much painting with them. Great thing ever. So good. Love it. There you go. Gonna have light over there on the finger. There was here. How was I holding it? Like this. My God, keep moving my fingers. This is good practice, isn't it? Okay, homework for everyone on the stream. Draw an egg. Do it. Just do it. Kind of like it more. For example, there's a bit of a repetition between this abstract shape and that abstract shape. So I think I'm just gonna cut it a little bit. I have never tried charcoal pencils. Or maybe I did. I don't remember though. Maybe I did. So right now I'm barely pushing with the charcoal. I'm just gently touching the surface, trying to blend. Now I'm actually pushing because I need to fix the shape. I just realized that it's not turning around too much. Sorry, enough. There you go. Now I need to fix the thickness here. I want the value, not the line. There you go. You're like gently stomping the darker tones with your eraser. Going back and forth until you actually fix that shape. Oh shit, my battery. I don't know, I mean, I'm eating the period of a chicken. So when we eat an egg, is actually the period of the chicken. Ew, Teo, why did you tell me that? Because I'm evil. I need to change the battery. Just 1 second, guys. Whoop. And after this, I will actually need to go back to my commissions so I can make money. So I don't have to get a full-time job, which will actually pay me more, but I won't be able to do the stuff I actually love. There you go. Come on, show me the image. Pretty please with sugar on top. Don't do this to me. Come on. Yes! There you go. Woo. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good even on the screen. Oh, I haven't failed. Where's my egg? There's my egg. Meep. Okay, let's fix this shadow underneath. Squinting, squinting. It's kind of beautiful how much bounced light this egg is getting, because I have a light. You can actually see it in the video. I have a warm light on the left here. So I actually need to clean up a little bit this. Cleaning it up. I mean, it's all about practice, Izzy. And the good part about having a physical teacher, when I was a teacher, some students didn't like that. I used to pick up their charcoal and draw on their drawings to explain. And some students were so, you know, into their drawing that they couldn't really let me do it. I mean, don't get precious. If you're doing the study, fuck it up, you know? You're learning, so don't be afraid to do it. That's how you learn, by doing a lot of mistakes. And trust me, I had my tears when doing mistakes. I failed so many times, it's ridiculous. And for example, I like this little diffuse. It's not a completely sharp line, and you can actually see that when we look at this egg, it's quite sharp. But I like it more the way it is, because when I look at it and I squint, I don't really see it this sharp. Maybe where I see it the sharpest is here. And this is my personal choice. You don't need to be this soft. You can be as sharp as you want, but I think it's giving it more than if I do everything sharp. Oh, sorry, it's too shadowy. There you go. So, there. I like it more. So don't judge me. Now I can actually see if I can add more white. I want that nice little darkness in there, and I'm squinting, and I can see that this part here, this part should not have too much chalk, because I'm gonna build up the values a little bit more in there. I think I will need more paper rather than white value. No, I mean, I understand this type of academies, they cost so much. It killed my soul when I was talking with my students, and the amount of stress some students have. They can't even focus on their art because they're so stressed that they don't have money to continue their studies. I really wish we can have like free education, but this type of schools don't really get helped by the government, because they don't make money out of these schools, because we can't really take 300 students. We have to work with every student. Like sometimes I worked like 30 minutes to 1 hour with one student when I was a teacher. So you can't really have too many, because you will crash. And that's one reason I crashed as a teacher. I was a bit too young. I didn't really know how to handle it, but now it's a bit more different. So, and one reason the government doesn't really want to sponsor, it's because they're quite expensive and they're not making as much money as a school that takes more students, which is a shame, but still hoping to win the lottery one day. So then I can have everything for free. At least education should be for free, but it doesn't really work that way. So what do you guys think? I drew an egg. I drew an egg. Oh my god, it's a little egg. I can actually try and put some small little details on it to actually show some texture in there. I can actually see it. Let's see if I can do it. The egg has a certain texture to it, so I'm just gonna try to make it a little bit rougher. Squinting down really, really low. So I'm squinting really low. So I can see here, I need to blur out that line a little bit. Excuse me. There you go. Let's add a little bit of a... There you go. Squinting down again. Maybe I should draw some hands in charcoal. That can be fun. We can actually add a tiny bit of chalk here on the fingers, very little. There you go. If you want to clean up the background, like you can see these little lumps in here, this is what you kind of need to do. And if you want to make your eyes, I don't know how the hell I'm going to explain this. If you want to make your eyes more sensitive, blurry out your vision. So right now I'm seeing everything sharp. So, and at this stage, I'm actually blurring it out. So what I'm seeing with my eyes is this. So by doing this, my eyes becomes more sensitive. So I see the values. So I can actually point out those dark little points. I can see a dark point over there. I can see it here, here, here. Cleaning it out. If you want to get that smooth surface. There you go. There you go. So I'm alternating. It can be very dangerous for your eyes, but once you get used to it, because I remember I used to get extreme headaches that I couldn't even work anymore, but now I'm pretty much used to it. There you go. So I'm cleaning up the surface a little bit. That's about it. I'm gonna stop now. I mean, there's so much more to do, like the way I can actually fix that value even more. But we managed to draw this egg. Let's move the camera a bit. There's no glare. Nip, 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 nip. Nip, 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 nip. Whoa. You see what I mean with the camera? There you go. Trying to make it there. So let's recap a little bit. We talked about paper value, some charcoal, how to sharpen charcoal, what charcoals I actually use, and we drew an egg. Any other questions before I go to my work? It was fun. I mean, this is a homework. Draw an egg. Learn more about charcoal. So this is canson paper, matent, or fennel gray. This is the fennel gray canson paper, 50 times 70 centimeters. That's the one I use. This one underneath is Stonehenge. I'm gonna do my commission on this one with Total Recall. I'm gonna be drawing Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the name correctly. So you can either do an egg, which is simple, or you can do an apple. Apple, I think it's more advanced, so start with an egg. Just take the egg, put it on the table, put a more strongish light. Try to still get a little bit of this, so you can see the white is white. And then draw that. And then after you do a good job with it, you can go to an apple. The charcoal I use is... boop, boop, boop. Excuse me. Sorry. There you go. So I use, this is my main charcoal. This is what we use today. It's called Grumbachen. You can only get it from USA, or you can get it via Amazon. Just be careful from where you're ordering it, because when I ordered, it came broken. There's some shops in USA that can send it to you. If not, ask a friend that lives in USA if they can send it to you. The shop that I'm trying to buy from, they're pretty bad at answering, but we'll see. This is also from USA. I couldn't actually find it in Europe, even though it's Winsor and Newton. You can only buy it in USA. This is actually pretty good as well. I think this is a bit cheaper than the Grumbachen, so it can be a cheaper alternative. Yeah, portrait is always complicated. This one, Kohinoor, you can actually find this one in Europe. It's way too soft for doing something like this. You will be more expressive if that's the case. You will need to adapt to a different technique than this one. And then we have the Nitram, which I usually barely use. It's the main choice for most students in Europe. I think it's a Canadian company that's owning it, so it's not the best right now in comparison to when the previous owners were having it. But again, it's the choice of Europe, which whatever. It's kind of good, you can work with it. It's hard pressed, it's not really the natural one. And then you can use this to sharpen your charcoal, like you guys saw at the beginning of the video. So one side and one side for chalk. To clean up this, you can use, because you will have to clean it up because chalk is more, it feels a little bit somehow oily, so it sticks out, it sticks more. So you can use something like this, and then you just rake it out. You can actually see the white smoke coming out of it. What else? When you draw with charcoal, right now in my situation, I pretty much didn't need a mold stick. But you can go into the forest, if you have a forest. I can actually show you guys. This here was my very first mold stick. I was dirt poor, I couldn't really afford it, so I went into the forest and I found this stick. Best stick ever. Why? Well, you're not supposed to touch the paper. So this one sticks. It has like a bend to it. So you can actually use it and work without, you know, having a bad situation where like, whoops, you're touching your drawing. Or you can just use a straight one, which is fine as well. I actually using the straight ones more because when I draw, and let's say that you don't want to touch this surface, you're like this. And then you kind of move the mole stick, you see how I'm moving it? And it's not touching my drawing. So you will really need one of these if you're gonna work with charcoal. What else? What other questions? Let's see what people wrote. Georgia, yes, try that after you finish your drawing. How many tones do you use in this egg? I have no idea how many tones, but to be honest, it looks like it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, between 6 and 7 tones, I think. Not much. But anyways, I think this was the shortest live stream I've ever had. Not really, it's almost 5 o'clock. I'm gonna work for only 1 hour and then I'm gonna do my commissions. God damn it, why are you people so fun? Oh well. Tomorrow I'm not gonna be working on the live stream. Wednesday, presumably I will do it. Hopefully on Wednesday my landlord is not home so I can have the internet for myself. Because that's when the full power goes into the live stream. Thank you so much. I hope this was useful. You guys also saw me squinting on the live stream. That was funny. Next time I will do some more charcoal. I also hope that I will start doing more of my personal stuff. But you know, the more you grow up, the more you grow, the less time you kind of have to really do the fun stuff. That value. That little point over there was bothering me. There you go. Okay. Raiza, see you soon again around the messenger thing. Georgia, I suggest you email me on my email and we can talk from there. Don't do anything with Patreon yet. Just leave it for now. Let's test it out, and if it's gonna work, you can just do it next month if you want to pay me. It's fine. I want to make my main income from my commissions, not Patreon. Again, Patreon is something that if people feel like they have enough to give and they think that they want to keep me talking like an idiot, then you guys can help me keep the live stream going. Daniel! Oh my god! I didn't even notice you were on! Hi! I think GC already went to bed. I was just so focused on the drawing. Oh, anyways. Take good care of you guys. And I'll see you in like 2-3 days. I will keep you guys updated. Ciao, ciao!